Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. In this lesson, I'm going to talk about the differences between may and might. Let's get started. First, I want to begin this lesson with the word may. I want to talk about two ways that we use may in modern American English. First, we use may to request and give permission. So that means when we ask for permission, we can use may, and when we give permission, we can use may. Let's look at a common example. First, person A says, "May I use your pen?" May I use your pen? B says, "Yes, you may." Yes, you may. So in this question, may is used to request, to ask for permission. May I? And then B gives permission with may. Yes, you may. So this yes, you may means yes, you may use my pen, in other words. In many cases, however, native speakers drop this part. They just say yes, or sure, or okay. When you're making a question like this, make sure that may comes before your subject. So may I use your pen? Not I may use your pen. Don't use that pattern. Please use may I use your pen. May we use your pen or use your computer, for example. So make sure may is coming before your I or we or he or she. You can choose to reply with yes, you may. The negative here would be no, you may not. No, you may not. Another common example with may, a common request is, may I use the restroom? May I use the restroom? I'm going to talk a little bit more about another expression we use, can, in this question, and similar questions a little bit later. For now, though, let's consider this point 1 for may. Let's go to point 2 for may. The second use of may is to express a low to moderate, moderate is like medium, a low to moderate level of possibility. So may has this meaning, yes. So does might, as I'll talk about later. But may is less commonly used than might in American English. So if you use may in a case like this, as we'll see in a moment, it's going to sound a little more formal, a little more polite in American English. We tend to use might more. But let's look at some examples. There's no communication problem here. It just sounds a little formal. First, a positive statement. I may visit a restaurant later today. I may visit a restaurant later today means there's a possibility, so kind of low to moderate level, maybe like 20 to 40, 50% chance I'll visit a restaurant later today. In the negative then, the next two sentences, we may not have time to finish our report today. We may not have time to finish our report today. So this may not means there's a possibility that we will not have time. So there's kind of this chance that this thing will not be done today. So same thing in the next one. She may not be able to make it to the meeting. So it might not is another way to say this, yes. But there's a low or moderate chance she will be able to make it. So we use may not, or as we'll see later, might not to express that. One more positive sentence, he may join us later. So again, positive, so that shows there is a chance that he's going to come later. So think about this. You can use may to talk about something in positive sentences that you think has a chance of happening, a chance of occurring, and may not to talk about something you think has a chance of not happening. So finally, I want to end this section with this note about may versus can for permission. So I mentioned that in this question here, may I use the restroom, for example. We use both may and can in modern English to ask for permission. So there's generally not a communication problem. However, some people prefer to use historical rules for these two words. Historically, may has been used for permission. So for this kind of thing, this is a situation where the speaker is asking for permission. Like, is it okay if I do this? Can, however, historically, has been used to talk about abilities. So the things we are able to do. For example, I can speak English. I can speak French. So if you're thinking historically, can I use the restroom? For some people who are very strict about rules think it means like, do I have the ability to use the restroom? Of course, in modern American English, we use them the same, so it's a permission question, but occasionally you will meet people who prefer to use this may rule, the historical may rule. So if you want to be sure to be correct always, please use may when you're trying to ask for permission in a situation like this, or like this as well. So if you want to be very, very strict, you can use may, but many people use can. I think I probably use can most of the time because may does sound a little bit formal. But for your information, this is the historical difference between these two words. Okay, so with that in mind, let's continue to might. So we use might to express a low to moderate level of possibility, just as with may here. However, might is more commonly used than may in American English. So again, this point is about American English. We tend to use might more often than may in American English. It might be a little different for British English speakers. So we can make the same sentences that we made over here. We can substitute might in place of may. For example, I might visit a restaurant later today. I might here, so a positive sentence. And to me, an American English speaker, this sounds much more like friendly, much more commonly used. I might visit a restaurant later today. A negative, we might not have time to finish our report today. We might not have time. So again, there's a chance we won't have time to do this. Another negative, she might not be able to make it to the meeting. She might not be able to make it to the meeting. So again, this doesn't sound so formal. She may not sounds a little more polite. Finally, he might join us later. He might join us later, a positive expression. So again, it sounds friendly, it sounds like an everyday conversation. So if you want to sound a bit more polite, maybe you're using this at work, for example, you could use may to sound a little bit more polite. Otherwise, I would recommend using might to sound friendly and have kind of a more everyday feel to your conversation. One final point here is this old-fashioned point. So this is not used, might is not used in this way in modern American English, but you might hear it sometimes. So it's an old-fashioned use, but using might to make requests for permission. So like we talked about here. But like I said, this is not used in modern American English except for media. So this is why I chose to include this point in this lesson. So you might hear sentences like these, like, might I come in? Or might I help you? So these are like requests. We're asking, is it okay to come in? Or like, is it okay if I help you? So it's kind of like making an offer. This is an old-fashioned or archaic use of might in American English. Perhaps you'll hear this in British English, but this is very rarely used in modern American English, unless you're watching a movie that's set in a time period a couple hundred years ago, perhaps. But this is not so commonly used. If you want to make a question, a permission question, use may instead. But you may hear this. Okay, so this is a quick introduction to the differences between may and might, and a quick discussion of may versus can for permission. So I hope that this helped you understand the differences between using these words. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to let us know in the comment section of this video. Of course, if you like the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you have not already, and check us out at EnglishClass101.com for some other things that can help you with your English studies. Thanks very much for watching this lesson, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.